There's so many people that miss you. There's so many people that were out. We haven't slept. We haven't eaten. We're just looking. And we're praying that you're safe. And I'm asking to just let us know that you're safe. If somebody has her, please understand that you've taken away a huge person in so many people's lives. Friends and family and students that she has. I know what she means to me. I know what she means to everybody else. And we just want to know she's okay. We just want her back. Thank you.
A young teacher, 4 months pregnant, doesn't show up at school on the first day of the new academic year. Her phone can't be reached. Her car vanishes without a trace. And a strange text message appears with a suspicious spelling error of her ex-boyfriend's name. But the scariest part? The man who promised to marry her, the father of the baby she was carrying, was living a perfect double life that no one knew about. When the truth was about to be exposed, he chose the most brutal solution to keep his secret. This isn't a sad love story. This is a case about deception, psychological manipulation, and the planned death of a pregnant woman. Welcome to the Case Files, where we unveil shocking murder cases, exposing the dark truths hidden behind each crime. Today, we'll explore one of the most shocking cases in Maryland in 2017, a story about love, betrayal, and the tragic death of a young teacher awaiting her first child. In this episode, we're taking a deep dive into the infamous case of the double-life betrayal, the Laura Wallen case. Part 1. The first day she didn't return. Tuesday, September 5th, 2017. Wild Lake High School in Columbia. Maryland welcomed the new school year with the usual bustling atmosphere. Students were excited to return to school, especially to see their beloved social studies teacher, Ms. Laura Wallen. But that morning, she didn't show up. Laura Elizabeth Wallen, 31 years old, born May 10, 1986, was the daughter of Mark and Gwen Wallen. She grew up in Olney, Maryland, with her sister Jennifer, who was always close to her throughout every stage of life. Laura's greatest passion was helping people develop, and it was no surprise when she decided to become a teacher. She had been honored as Teacher of the Year at Wild Lake High School, respected by both colleagues and students for her dedication and passion for teaching. Colleagues at the school were extremely confused by Laura's absence because she wasn't the type to miss teaching without a valid reason. When the administration couldn't contact her, they decided to notify Laura's family. Laura's parents immediately became concerned and contacted the Montgomery County Police Department to report her missing. Part 2. The strange text and first suspicions. When police began investigating, they discovered something wasn't right from the start. Laura's family said they started worrying after Laura sent her sister Jennifer a strange text message on Monday morning, September 4th. The tone of the message was very unusual, completely unlike Laura. In that message, Laura said she believed the child she was carrying, 4 months along, wasn't Tyler Tessier's, the boyfriend she'd loved for 10 years, but Andrew Tone's, an ex-boyfriend. But Jennifer immediately realized this was completely nonsensical because Laura hadn't seen Andrew Tone for over 2 years. And more importantly, in that message, Laura had misspelled Andrew Tone's name. Would a woman misspell the name of the man she believed was the father of the baby she was carrying? This made absolutely no sense. When Jennifer tried calling back, no one answered. Police immediately conducted a check at Laura's residence in Maryland, but she wasn't there. Her 2011 black Ford Escape wasn't parked in the driveway either. A quick check inside the house showed no signs of a struggle or break-in. However, there was something very strange that made investigators pause. Candles were still burning inside the house, and Laura's dog was locked inside alone. Laura's family had returned home on Monday evening, September 4th, and discovered Laura wasn't home. They had just returned from a Labor Day weekend trip, while Laura had planned to stay with her boyfriend, Tyler Tessier. Throughout that holiday, Laura and Tyler had exchanged many messages with family, and in them, Laura said Tyler planned to take her on an adventure on Saturday, September 2nd. Laura's father, Mark, also said Tyler had expressed a desire to marry Laura after learning she was pregnant, and Jennifer confirmed Laura believed Tyler would propose during that weekend trip. But everything changed completely, starting Monday morning. Part 3. Critical Discovery. The Car and Phone. On Thursday evening, September 7th, 2017, an employee at the Rasal apartment complex in Columbia, Maryland, discovered Laura's identification and phone in a trash bin. This complex was located directly across from Wild Lake School, where Laura taught. When police arrived at the scene, they also discovered Laura's Ford Escape parked backwards in the apartment complex parking lot. The front license plate had been removed. Police questioned, why would Laura park her car there? Why were her phone and ID thrown away? This didn't look like a typical missing person case anymore, but seemed like someone was deliberately staging a scene. The investigation into Laura's disappearance began on September 5th, 2017, led by Montgomery County Police Chief Tom Manger. He and his officers coordinated with family, friends, former and current students of Laura to search for her. Sion Marcel, one of Laura's former students, organized a group of over 20 people to go throughout the surrounding area, distributing flyers about Laura's disappearance. The investigative team was divided into two parallel groups. One group traced Laura's digital footprint, the other interviewed relatives and her boyfriend. They searched Laura's phone and computer to determine her last location, disassembled her car to find evidence, examined financial transaction details, and call history. Every clue was closely followed. Part 4. Tyler Tessier's Statement, the First Story. Laura's parents suggested police should investigate Tyler Tessier, 33, the last person to see Laura. Tyler agreed to cooperate and told his story. He said that weekend, he had taken Laura to Damascus, Maryland, to see a piece of land he planned to buy to build a house for both of them and their baby. Tyler said Laura was very happy about the prospect of living in the countryside and raising their child there. They arrived late Saturday night and planned to view the land the next day. But on Sunday, September 3rd, everything changed according to Tyler's account. He said they argued during a walk in Damascus, but didn't specify the reason. Tyler said Laura demanded to go home immediately and asked him to return her house key. Not wanting to cause more stress for the pregnant woman, Tyler agreed. He said they arranged to meet for breakfast at Columbia Mall on Monday morning, September 4th, but Laura didn't show up. When Tyler went to Laura's house, he saw no sign of her and said he couldn't get in because he didn't have a key. However, this statement made police suspicious immediately because a neighbor of Laura's said they saw Tyler walking her dog at 2:30 p.m. Monday. If Tyler couldn't get into the house, how could he walk the dog? Police didn't tell Tyler this, but they began suspecting him seriously. They requested call records, and Tyler agreed to provide them. Police secretly installed a GPS tracking device on Tyler's car to monitor his movements without his knowledge. Part 5. Clues from digital data. Over the next week, while continuing to search for Laura, police tracked Tyler and discovered something suspicious. He had returned to the Damascus field 10 times since Laura disappeared. Why? Why would a man repeatedly return to a deserted field while his pregnant girlfriend was missing? Financial investigation showed a card transaction made by Laura on the evening of September 2nd at a store. Through surveillance cameras, police saw Laura and Tyler had gone shopping together that day. Data records showed Tyler and Laura's phones connected to the same tower Saturday evening. But from Sunday onward, Laura's phone stopped moving completely. while Tyler's phone showed he texted a friend late Sunday night asking for help to clean up a mess. But the friend declined. Clean up what? Why late at night? Fingerprint analysis also showed Tyler and Laura's fingerprints were found on the car, phone, and her ID, items discovered in the Columbia trash bin. Everything pointed in one direction. Tyler Tessier was hiding something very big. Part 6, Second Interrogation. The story changes. With this evidence in hand, police summoned Tyler for another interrogation. This time they questioned him about phone data, fingerprints, and the strange messages. Tyler claimed Laura had gotten into big trouble and was pregnant with a student, not him. Police were astonished by this statement. Tyler continued saying he tried to help her escape trouble by taking her car, phone, and ID and disposing of them so family wouldn't find out. Tyler admitted deliberately misleading everyone to help Laura because he still cared about her. When police requested information about Laura's current location, he denied knowing and said he didn't know where she was. Police didn't believe that for a second. But they still didn't have enough evidence to charge Tyler with murder without the victim's body. They needed to dig deeper. Part 7. The Horrifying Secret. A Double Life. So, after police traced evidence from messages on Tyler's phone, they gradually discovered a completely different picture of the relationship between him and Laura. Messages showed Laura wasn't the only woman in Tyler's life. Mark, Laura's father, said he had always worried about his daughter's future with Tyler because he had long sensed something wasn't right about this man. Throughout 10 years together, Tyler had never spent time with Laura during important occasions like Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthdays, or family trips. Mark believed Tyler had never truly made Laura a priority in his life. He also knew about another woman named Christina Wagner, also a teacher, who had a romantic relationship with Tyler. After expanding the investigation, police found mutual friends of Christina and Tyler, thereby discovering the horrifying truth. Since 2012, Tyler had been living with Christina while still maintaining a relationship with Laura. These friends also said Tyler and Christina had gotten engaged after learning Laura was pregnant and were planning to marry in 2018. When asked about Laura, these people said Tyler had known Laura for a long time, but described her as an out-of-control stalker after they broke up a few years ago. But from messages in Laura's phone, police learned that on August 28, 2017, just 1 week before she went missing, Laura had tried to contact Christina, requesting a meeting to talk about Tyler. Christina's friends said she was very angry at Laura's harassment, and after discussing with Tyler, Christina decided to call police to request a restraining order. But when notified that to get a restraining order, all 3 people would have to go to court, Tyler refused because he was afraid his secret would be exposed publicly. Police also learned that Tyler and Christina had planned to go shopping to prepare for their wedding over Labor Day weekend, but Tyler cited a knee injury as a reason he couldn't go. The picture gradually became clear. Tyler Tessier had been living a perfect double life for many years, deceiving both women skillfully. Part 8. Third Interrogation. Truth begins to surface. When information about Christina was shared with Laura's family, they also admitted hearing Laura say Christina was the one stalking Tyler. Laura had been completely deceived about who was deceiving whom. Police summoned Tyler once more and questioned him about Christina. Initially, Tyler denied everything, but faced with evidence of his double life, he finally admitted he had deceived both women for many years. He admitted the argument with Laura also stemmed from this, but continued denying involvement in her disappearance. However, during these prolonged interrogations, Tyler gave many different versions of what happened to Laura, changing the story each time when confronted with new evidence. In the first version, Tyler said Laura feared that being pregnant would make her lose her job and asked him to help her disappear to avoid trouble. In the second version, He claimed both were kidnapped, taken to the field. Laura was shot dead, and he miraculously escaped. In the third version, he said they argued at his place. Laura attacked him with scissors. He dodged. She ran into a wooden post on the porch and collapsed. He thought she died from hitting her head, so he buried her in the field. But fearing he buried her alive, he shot her in the head to make sure. Each story contradicted the previous one, and police knew Tyler was trying to find some statement that could help him escape guilt. Part 9. The decisive clue. The Damascus field. Without revealing their plan, police quietly followed a new lead from call history in Tyler's phone. A call to a meat processing plant near the Damascus field, where Laura had been taken by Tyler. The owner of this plant also owned the land, where Tyler and Laura had visited. Through conversation, police learned Tyler had worked there and often went hunting with him. Over Labor Day weekend, Tyler had asked this person if he could get the key to a safe containing 4 rifles and ammunition. Why did Tyler need guns? Police began suspecting Laura had been murdered, but couldn't charge Tyler without the victim's body. They needed to find Laura. Based on GPS data from Tyler's phone and testimony from the landowner in Damascus, police had identified the area that Tyler returned to many times. But before taking action, they had one final plan. A bold plan to make Tyler believe he was still in control of the situation. For Part 10. The tearful press conference, a killer's performance. On September 11, 2017, when the case had caused a stir in the Maryland community, Montgomery County Police held a public press conference calling on the community to help search for Laura. Laura's family, parents and sister Jennifer, along with friends, appeared to pray and call for Laura's safe return. And sitting right next to Laura's parents, holding Mrs. Gwen Wallen's, Laura's mother's, hand tightly was Tyler Tessier. Tyler sobbed before the cameras. He said with a trembling voice, "Laura, if you hear this, I just want you to know that we love you. You are always loved. And the whole family, everyone here is waiting for you to come home." He continued, "If anyone knows anything at all, please, don't tell me. Don't tell the family. Contact the police immediately. Do the right thing." The tears, the trembling voice, the gesture of holding the victim's relative's hand, all were the perfect performance of a killer trying to hide his crime. But few knew that. This was part of the police's plan. The police's plan. Police Chief Tom Manger later revealed it was a calculated decision by the investigative team to have Tyler Tessier attend the event and speak. This was done with the approval and understanding of the victim's family. Police wanted Tyler to feel safe, wanted him to believe he was still in control of the situation. And while he performed for the public, police were secretly collecting the final pieces to arrest him. Part 11. Discovery of the body, September 13, 2017. On Wednesday afternoon, September 13, 2017, based on GPS data from Tyler's phone and testimony from the landowner in Damascus, police deployed forces to a wooded area near Price's Distillery Road. They brought cadaver dogs specialized in searching for bodies. In a secluded corner of the field, investigators discovered recently disturbed ground. The cadaver dogs signaled at that location. When they began excavation, they found Laura Wallen's body in a shallow grave. Police Chief Tom Manger informed Laura's family of this heartbreaking discovery. Sister Jennifer said that at that moment, all remaining hope vanished completely. But at least they had found her sister and could bring her home. Autopsy results determined Laura died from a gunshot wound to the back of the head with a .22 caliber weapon. She was shot execution style. According to estimates, Laura was killed on Sunday, September 3, 2017, one day after she was last seen with Tyler in surveillance footage at the grocery store. The baby inside her, a boy, also died with his mother. Laura's family later named the baby Reed. According to investigators, Tyler had used a mechanical loader to dig the hole to bury Laura, not manual digging, showing this was a premeditated action rather than an impulsive act in anger. Part 12. Arrest of Tyler Tessier. Just hours after discovering the body, around 5:30 p.m. on September 13, 2017, Tyler Tessier was arrested in Damascus. He was charged with first-degree murder, tampering with physical evidence in a criminal proceeding, and making false statements to police. At a preliminary hearing in Rockville District Court the next day, the judge ordered Tyler held without bail until trial. "I truly believe you are a danger to the community," the judge told Tyler, who appeared via video screen. Prosecutor John McCarthy described Laura as a very dedicated and responsible teacher, and confirmed Laura was 4 months pregnant with Tyler's child when she was murdered. In the final interrogation after being arrested on September 13th, Tyler Tessier confessed to police that he had shot Laura in the back of the head with a .22 caliber weapon. This was the most important confession, confirming what investigators had suspected from the beginning. However, Tyler's lawyers later requested to exclude the confession tape from trial, arguing Tyler had requested a lawyer, but police ignored this right. Although prosecutors disagreed with this argument, they accepted not playing the recording in court because they had enough other evidence. Part 13. Reconstructing the crime. Based on collected evidence, police and prosecutors reconstructed the sequence of events as follows. Saturday, September 2, 2017, Tyler took Laura to the Damascus field under the pretense of wanting to show her land he planned to buy to build a house for their new family. Laura believed it was a romantic trip, possibly where Tyler would propose to her. That evening, Laura sent her sister Jennifer a message saying Tyler had taken her on an adventure to the Damascus field and wrote, "I'm not sure why we're out here, but he brought me to this place in the middle of nowhere." Jennifer told Laura to take a picture, and she did. That photo later helped police pinpoint the exact location where Laura was buried. They shopped together at a grocery store, captured on surveillance cameras. Sunday, September 3, 2017. This was the day Tyler committed the crime. He had obtained guns from an acquaintance's safe beforehand. In the secluded field, he shot Laura in the back of the head execution style, then buried her in a shallow grave. After killing Laura, Tyler texted an acquaintance late that night, asking for a ride to Baltimore and help to clean up a mess. But fortunately, this person declined. Monday, September 4th, Tyler drove Laura's Ford Escape to the Russell apartment complex in Columbia, directly across from Wild Lake School where Laura taught. He removed the front license plate and discarded it, threw Laura's phone and ID into a trash bin, then called another acquaintance to pick him up and asked this person to lie if police asked about picking him up there. From Laura's phone, he sent messages to her family, deliberately misspelling Andrew Tone's name and saying the baby wasn't Tyler's. The purpose was to mislead the investigation, making people think Laura had run away out of shame. From September 5 to 13, Tyler continuously returned to the scene 10 times, possibly to check if the body was discovered or to relive the crime he had committed. Part 14. The crime's motive. The double life collapses. According to charging documents, Tyler Tessier's primary motive was to prevent Laura from revealing to Christina Wagner, his fiancée, that he had gotten Laura pregnant. Laura had learned about Christina in late August 2017 and even tried to contact Christina to talk about Tyler. When Laura was determined to expose the truth, Tyler's perfect double life began to collapse. He couldn't lose Christina, the woman he'd lived with for 5 years and was preparing to marry. But he also couldn't let Laura raise his child alone, because that would be undeniable proof of his deception. In Tyler's sick mind, the only solution was to kill both Laura and the baby in her womb, so his secret would be kept forever. Laura's father, Mark Wallen, later called Tyler a monster and a liar, saying he had deceived his daughter their entire lives together. Part 15. The Trial and the Killer's End. Tyler Tessier was prosecuted for first-degree murder, and prosecutors were seeking a life sentence without parole if he was convicted. However, before the official trial could take place, one morning in September 2018, Tyler Tessier committed suicide in his jail cell. He left multiple letters, but detailed contents were not fully disclosed. Prosecutor John McCarthy expressed disappointment and anger at a press conference, saying, "We were robbed of the opportunity to let the public know the true nature and details of this crime this morning. He called Tyler's action cowardice. Laura's family was denied the opportunity to see the killer stand trial and receive a deserved sentence. But at least they knew for certain that Tyler had confessed his guilt to police before dying. Justice didn't come the way they hoped, but the truth had been fully exposed." Part 16. Laura and Reed's Legacy. Laura and Reed's Law. Laura Wallen's story doesn't end with death. Her family turned their pain into motivation to change the law. At the time Laura was killed, Maryland law did not recognize killing a fetus as a separate murder charge. This meant Tyler Tessier was only charged with killing one person, Laura, not baby Reed as well. Laura's parents, Mark and Gwen Wallen, along with sister Jennifer, testified before the Maryland state legislature to support a new bill called Laura and Reed's Law. This law requires increased penalties for those who commit violent crimes against pregnant women, specifically adding up to 10 years in prison for violent crimes when the perpetrator knows or believes the victim is pregnant. Mark Wallen said, "We can't bring Laura and Reed back, but we can ensure that other families won't have to endure the pain we did without full justice." This bill received widespread support from the Maryland community, and in May 2019, Governor Larry Hogan signed Laura and Reed's Law into official law. This law became effective on October 1st, 2019, providing better protection for pregnant women and their unborn children. Conclusion and message. Laura Wallen was a dedicated teacher, a beloved daughter, a close sister, and a hopeful mother. She was robbed of the chance to see her first child born, and baby Reed was robbed of the chance to live. But their story doesn't end there. Through the Wallen family's pain, laws have changed to protect pregnant women and unborn children from violence. The Laura Wallen case is a painful warning about the dangers of relationships based on deception and manipulation. Tyler Tessier maintained a perfect double life for many years, deceiving both women, making them believe they were the only one in his life. Laura had no idea about Christina until August 2017, and Christina also didn't know Laura was still maintaining a real relationship with Tyler. When the truth was about to be exposed, instead of admitting and taking responsibility, Tyler chose the most brutal way, killing the woman carrying his child. This isn't just a simple murder case, but a case about psychological manipulation, systematic deception, and extreme violence. Looking back at Laura's story, there were many warning signs that she and her family recognized, but couldn't prevent in time. Tyler never spent time with Laura during important holidays, never introduced Laura to his close friends, always had reasons not to appear at family gatherings, and always secretly controlled information about his personal life. Laura's father, Mark, had worried about this relationship for a long time, but Laura loved Tyler and believed they would have a future together. If you're in a relationship where you feel deceived, controlled, or unsafe, please tell someone and seek help. Silence can cost you your life, but speaking up can save you. Laura tried to expose the truth, but time wasn't on her side. Learn from her story and don't let it be too late. After Laura's death, the Maryland education community held many memorial services. Her former and current students shared memories of a dedicated teacher who always cared about their development. Saon Marcel, Laura's former student, said, "Ms. Wallen didn't just teach us about history. She taught us how to become better people." The Howard County Public School System stated, "With heavy hearts, we share the news that Wild Lake High School teacher, Ms. Laura Wallen, has been found deceased tonight by the Montgomery County Police Department. Please keep the Wallen family in your thoughts. Share this story to honor the memory of Laura Wallen and baby Reed, two innocent lives taken by deception and violence. Subscribe to the Case Files to not miss other shocking cases. Hit the like button and leave your comments below. Thank you for following until the end. Justice may come late, but the legacy of those who have passed will live on forever."